apart as holy. To act as a priest for me, these are the articles of clothing they are to make: breastpiece, ephod, robe, woven tunic, turban, sash. They are making holy vestments for your brother Aaron and his sons as they work as priests for me. They will need gold, blue, purple, and scarlet material, and fine linen. Have the ephod made from gold, blue, purple, and scarlet material, and fine twisted linen by a skilled craftsman. Give it 2 shoulder pieces at 2 of the corners so it can be fastened. The decorated band on it is to be just like it and of one piece, made of gold, blue, purple, and scarlet material, and of fine twisted linen. Next, take 2 onyx stones and engrave the names of the sons of Israel on them in the order of their birth, 6 names on one stone and the remaining 6 on the other. Engrave the names of the sons of Israel on the 2 stones the way a jeweler engraves a seal. Then mount the stones in settings of filigreed gold. Fasten the 2 stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod. They are memorial stones for the Israelites. Aaron will wear these names on his shoulders as a memorial before God. Make the settings of gold filigree. Make 2 chains of pure gold and braid them like cords. Then attach the corded chains to the settings. Now make a breastpiece of judgment using skilled craftsmen, same as with the ephod. Use gold, blue, purple, and scarlet material and fine twisted linen. Make it 9 inches square and fold it double. Mount 4 rows of precious gemstones on it. First row, carnelian, topaz, emerald. Second row, ruby, sapphire, crystal. Third row, jacinth, agate, amethyst. Fourth row, beryl, onyx, jasper. Set them in gold filigree. The 12 stones correspond to the names of the Israelites, with 12 names engraved, each one on each as a seal for the 12 tribes. Then make braided chains of pure gold for the breastpiece, like cords. Make 2 rings of gold for the breastpiece and fasten them to the 2 ends. Fasten the 2 golden cords to the rings at the ends of the breastpiece. Then fasten the other ends of the 2 cords to the 2 settings of filigree, attaching them to the shoulder pieces of the ephod on front. Then make 2 rings of gold and fasten them to the 2 ends of the breastpiece, on its inside edge facing the ephod. Then make 2 more rings of gold and fasten them in the front of the ephod to the lower part of the 2 shoulder pieces, near the seam above the decorated band. Fasten the breastpiece in one place by running a cord of blue through its rings to the rings of the ephod, so that it rests secure on the decorated band of the ephod and won't come loose. Aaron will regularly carry the names of the sons of Israel on the breastpiece of judgment over his heart as he enters the sanctuary into the presence of God for remembrance. Place the Urim and Thummim in the breastpiece of judgment. They will be over Aaron's heart when he enters the presence of God. In this way, Aaron will regularly carry the breastpiece of judgment into the presence of God. Make the robe for the ephod entirely of blue, with an opening for the head at the center and a hem on the edge so that it won't tear. For the edge of the skirts, make pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet material all around, and alternate them with bells of gold, gold bell and pomegranate, gold bell and pomegranate, all around the hem of the robe. Aaron has to wear it when he does his priestly work. The bells will be heard when he enters the holy place and comes into the presence of God, and again when he comes out, so that he won't die. Make a plate of pure gold, engrave on it as a seal, holy to God. Tie it with a blue cord to the front of the turban. It is to rest there on Aaron's forehead. He'll take on any guilt involved in the sacred offerings that the Israelites consecrate, no matter what they bring. It will always be on Aaron's forehead so that the offerings will be acceptable before God. Weave the tunic of fine linen. Make the turban of fine linen. The sash be the work of an embroiderer. Make tunics, sashes, and hats for Aaron's sons to express glory and beauty. Dress your brother Aaron and his sons in them. Anoint, ordain, and consecrate them to serve me as priests. Make linen underwear to cover their nakedness from waist to thigh. Aaron and his sons must wear it whenever they enter the tent of meeting or approach the altar to minister in the holy place so that they won't incur guilt and die. This is a permanent rule for Aaron and all his priest descendants. This is the ceremony for consecrating them as priests. Take a young bull and 2 rams, healthy and without defects. Using fine wheat flour but no yeast, make bread and cakes, mixed with oils and wafers spread with oil. Place them in a basket and carry them along with the bull and the 2 rams. Bring Aaron and his sons to the entrance of the tent of meeting and wash them with water. Then take the vestments and dress Aaron in the tunic, the robe of the ephod, and the breastpiece, belting the ephod on him with the embroidered waistband. Set the turban on his head and place a sacred crown on the turban. Then take the anointing oil and pour it on his head, anointing him. Then bring his sons, put 2 tunics on them and gird them with sashes, both Aaron and his sons, and set hats on them. Their priesthood is upheld by law and is permanent. This is how you will ordain Aaron and his sons. Bring the bull to the tent of meeting. Aaron and his sons will place their hands on the head of the bull. Then you will slaughter the bull in the presence of God at the entrance to the tent of meeting. Take some of the bull's blood and smear it on the horns of the altar with your finger. Pour the rest of the blood on the base of the altar. Next, take all the fat that covers the innards, fat from around the liver and the 2 kidneys, and burn it on the altar. But the flesh of the bull, including its hide and tongue, you will burn up outside the camp. It is an absolution offering. Then take one of the rams. Have Aaron and his sons place their hands on the head of the ram. Slaughter the ram and take its blood and throw it against the altar, all around. Cut the ram into pieces, wash its innards and legs. Then gather the pieces and its head and burn the whole ram on the altar. It is a whole burnt offering to God, a pleasant fragrance, an offering by fire to God. Then take the second ram. Have Aaron and his sons place their hands on the ram's head. Slaughter the ram. Take some of its blood and rub it on Aaron's right earlobe and on the right earlobes of his sons, on the thumbs of their right hands and on the big toes of their right feet. Sprinkle the rest of the blood against all sides of the altar. Then take some of the blood that is on the altar, mix it with some of the anointing oil and splash it on Aaron and his clothes, and on his sons and their clothes, so that Aaron and his clothes and his sons' clothes will be made holy. Take the fat from the ram, the fat tail, the fat that covers the innards, the long lobe of the liver, the 2 kidneys, and the fat on them, and the right thigh. This is the ordination ram. Also take 1 loaf of bread, an oil cake, and a wafer from the bread basket that is in the presence of God. Place all of these in the open hands of Aaron and his sons, who will wave them before God, a wave offering. Then take them from their hands and burn them on the altar with the whole burnt offering, pleasing fragrance before God, a gift to God. Now take the breast from Aaron's ordination ram and wave it before God, a wave offering. That will be your portion. Consecrate the wave offering breast and the thigh that was held up. These are the parts of the ordination ram that are for Aaron and his sons. Aaron and his sons are always to get this offering from the Israelites. The Israelites are to make this offering regularly from their peace offerings. Aaron's sacred garments are to be handed down to his descendants, so they can be anointed and ordained in them. The son who succeeds him as priest is to wear them for 7 days and enter the tent of meeting to administer in the holy place. Take the ordination ram and boil the meat in the holy place. At the entrance to the tent of meeting, Aaron and his sons will eat the boiled ram and the bread that is on the basket, in the basket. Atoned by these offerings, ordained and consecrated by them, they are the only ones who are to eat them. No outsiders are to eat them. They're holy. Anything from the ordination ram or from the bread that is left over until morning you are to burn up. Don't eat it. It's holy. Do everything for the ordination of Aaron and his sons, exactly as I have commanded you throughout the 7 days. Offer a bull as an absolution offering for atonement each day. Offer it on the altar when you make atonement for it. Anoint and consecrate it. Make atonement for the altar and consecrate it for 7 days. The altar will become soaked in holiness. Anyone who so much as touches the altar will become holy. A lot more to go, folks. This is what you are to offer on the altar: 2-year-old lambs each and every day, 1 lamb in the morning and the second lamb at evening. For the sacrifice of the first lamb, offer 2 quarts of fine flour, with a quart of virgin olive oil, plus a quart of wine for a drink offering. The sacrifice of the second lamb, the one at evening, is also to be accompanied by the same grain offering and drink offering of the morning, sacrificed to give a pleasing fragrance, a gift to God. This is to be your regular daily whole burnt offering before God, generation after generation, sacrificed at the entrance of the tent of meeting. That's where I'll meet you. That's where I'll speak with you. That's where I'll meet the Israelites, at the place made holy by my glory. I'll make the tent of meeting and the altar holy. I'll make Aaron and his sons holy in order to serve me as priests. I'll move in and live with the Israelites. I'll be their God. They'll realize that I am their God who brought them out of the land of Egypt, so that I could live with them. I am God, your God. Make an altar for burning incense, constructed from acacia wood, 1 and 1.5 feet square and 3 feet high, with its horns of 1 piece with it. Cover it with a veneer of pure gold, its top, sides, and horns, and make a gold molding around it with 2 rings of gold beneath the molding. Place the rings on the 2 opposing sides to serve as holders for poles by which it will be carried. Make the poles of acacia wood and cover them with a veneer of gold. Place the altar in front of the curtain that hides the chest of testimony, in front of the atonement cover that is over the testimony, where I will meet you. Aaron will burn fragrant incense on it every morning when he polishes the lamps, and again in the evening as he prepares the lamps for lighting, so that there will always be incense burning before God, generation after generation. But don't burn on this altar any unholy incense, or whole burnt offering or grain offering, and don't pour out drink offerings on it. Once a year, Aaron is to purify the altar horns. Sorry about that, folks. Sometimes they ring, sometimes it doesn't, even when I silence it. Once a year, Aaron is to purify the altar horns, using the blood of the absolution offering of atonement. He is to make this atonement every year down through the generations. It is most holy to God. God spoke to Moses, "When you take head count of the Israelites, to keep track of them, all must pay an atonement tax to God for their life at the time of being registered, so that nothing bad will happen because of the registration. Everyone who gets counted is to give a half shekel, using the standard sanctuary shekel of 1/5 of an ounce to the shekel. A half shekel offering to God. Everyone counted, aged 20 and up, is to make the offering to God. The rich are not to pay more, nor the poor less, than the half shekel offering to God. the atonement tax for your lives. Take the atonement tax from the Israelites and put it to the maintenance of the tent of meeting. It will be a memorial fund for the Israelites in honor of God, making atonement for your lives. God spoke to Moses, make a bronze wash basin. Make it with a bronze base. Place it between the tent of meeting and the altar. Put water in it. Aaron and his sons will wash their hands and feet in it. When they enter the tent of meeting or approach the altar to serve there or offer gift offerings to God, they are to wash so they will not die. They are to wash their hands and their feet so they will not die. This is the rule forever for Aaron and his sons down through the generations. God spoke to Moses, take the best spices, 12.5 pounds of liquid myrrh, half that much, 6¼ pounds of fragrant cinnamon, 6¼ pounds of fragrant cane, 12.5 pounds of cassia, using the standard sanctuary weight for all of them, and a gallon of olive oil. Make these into a holy anointing oil, a perfumer's skillful blend. Use it to anoint the tent of meeting, the chest of the testimony, the table and all its utensils, the lampstand and its utensils, the altar of incense, the altar of the whole burnt offerings and all its utensils, and the wash basin and its base. Consecrate them so they'll be soaked in holiness, so that anyone who as so much as touches them will become holy. Then anoint Aaron and his sons, consecrate them as priests to me. Tell the Israelites, this will be my holy anointing oil throughout your generations. Don't pour it on ordinary men. Don't copy this mixture to use for yourselves. It's holy. Keep it holy. Whoever mixes up anything like it or puts it on an ordinary person will be expelled. God spoke to Moses, take fragrant spices, gum, resin, onycha, galbanum, and pure frankincense. Mix the spices in equal proportions to make an aromatic incense. The art of a perfumer, salted and pure, holy. Now crush some of it into powder and place some of it before the testimony, in the tent of meeting where I will meet with you. It will be for you the holiest of holy places. When you make this incense, you are not to copy the mixture for your own use. It's holy to God. Keep it that way. Whoever copies it for personal use will be excommunicated. And that is it for today's Bible reading. I know it was a long one. But again, remember to get in touch with God today, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.